party, keeping the pension promise. Public service pension, feeling appointed to secure the future of our members, even after retirement and leading no more life. Keeping the pension promise.
Public Service Pensions Fund, reaching you in all 10 provinces of Zambia. PSPF, keeping the pension promise.
The happy world of 5FM Radio, your adult contemporary radio station in Zambia, connecting you to the newsmakers and events that make news in the global village.
And now, with the main news bulletin, this is Grace Msimuko.
Good afternoon. This is 5FM Main News. The headlines. Espionage charges on opposition leaders criticized. Zambia elected to sit on Commonwealth Board. And Kenya's parliament approves police deployment to Haiti. This bulletin is also streaming live on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel, 5FM Radio Zambia. Opposition Socialist Party Deputy Secretary General Antonio Mwanza has accused the UPND administration of abusing the police to detain and intimidate leaders from opposition parties. Speaking during the Burning Issue program on 5FM Radio today, Mr. Mwanza questioned the reasons behind the espionage charges leveled against the party leader, PF Secretary General Raphael Nakachinda, for participating in interviews. He has described these as absurd, highlighting that the two individuals were simply engaging in public discussions and not involved in any espionage activities against Zambia or Zimbabwe. Further, Mr. Mwanza has expressed concern over the government's delay in taking to court the arrested opposition leaders.
Giving an interview, like I'm giving an interview here, how does it become a military operation? How does it amount to spying? It is ridiculous, it is absurd that Dr. Freddie Membe, Comrade Raphael Mangani Nakachinda can be slapped with espionage for giving interviews. Interviews that are public discussions, public discourse. And they can be accused that they were spying against Zambia or spying against Zimbabwe. But this is what we are living in now. This government has resorted to using and abusing the law, using and abusing the police, to arrest, to intimidate, to detain opposition leaders.
The Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency, ZAMSA, has disclosed that it has, in the last 2 weeks, distributed across the country 5,400 health center kits out of the 7,050 kits that were recently received from Mission Pharma. The agency says from the initial batch of 983 health center kits that had compliant erythromycin, it has distributed 756 kits to all towns in Northwestern Province except Zambezi. Agency Senior Public Relations Manager Bradley Chingombe has emphasized that the erythromycin contained in the 756 health center kits distributed in the above stated areas are safe to use and were found compliant by the Zambia Medicines Regulatory Authority, ZAMRA. Mr. Chingombe says in addition, the agency had distributed 4,644 health center kits that do not contain erythromycin. He said these kits have 57 commodities instead of the initial 58. Mr. Chingombe has assured that ZAMSA remains fully committed to providing safe and quality medicines and medical supplies.
We have also distributed full kits with compliant erythromycin to Mafinga, Nakonde, Lupoposhi, Chembe, Luano, Lumezi, and Luangwa. We must emphasize that the erythromycin contained in the 756 health center kits distributed in the above stated areas are safe to use and were found compliant by the Zambia Medicines Regulatory Authority, ZAMRA. In addition, we have distributed 4,644 health center kits that don't contain erythromycin. These kits have 57 commodities instead of the initial 58. This is because we have isolated the non-compliant erythromycin and quarantined it at the ZAMSA central warehouse.
Zambia has been unanimously nominated as a central government representative for Southern Africa to the board of the Commonwealth Local Government Forum. With this nomination, Zambia will serve a second consecutive term on the board through the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Gary Nkombo. This came to light during the ongoing 2023 Commonwealth Local Government Conference in Kigali, Rwanda, under the theme Building Local Resilience Across the Commonwealth. Mr. Nkombo, representing Zambia at the conference, expressed happiness to the Commonwealth for nominating Zambia as a central government representative for Southern Africa to the board of the Commonwealth Local Government Forum. Delivering his keynote speech at the conference, Mr. Nkombo reiterated the importance of building capacities of local authorities to access green finance for the development of climate-resilient infrastructure and to provide social services to all.
It becomes extremely difficult without any funding to conduct any special planning. Fortunately, we've got some support from the European Union as a country and also from the Commonwealth Local Government Forum and other donors such as the World Bank that have come to our aid in developing what I would say is solution number one, the development of the integrated development plans for our towns.
A climate-smart agriculturist, Oliver Bulaya, has advised government to lower tax or provide incentives for companies providing alternative sources of energy to attract masses adapt to clean energy sources. Dr. Bulaya notes that buying or refueling gas cylinders is so expensive compared to buying charcoal or hydropower, and solar energy for commercial or domestic usage is also expensive. He says conventional agriculture, industrialization, and charcoal business and brick making are part of some of the scourge contributing to deforestation, hence the need for radical measures to reverse such. Dr. Bulaya says there has been a lot of destruction towards the environment as forests are being depleted due to the fact that nature has become a source of income generating by those who do not have any source of sustainable income generation. He says turning on the nature for an economic advantage, such as charcoal burning or cutting trees for other business enterprises without regard to the destruction, is causing without thinking about replanting of trees, is alarming for this generation and generations to come.
What measures do they put in place regarding watering, for example, in case of prolonged, dry spells? So else the efforts may be, wastage. Let there be collaboration among institutions. Others may procure or plant, whilst others manage the seedlings until they are well rooted and established. This is all corporate social responsibility. Furthermore, the government must lower tax or provide incentives for companies providing alternative sources of energy.
In other news trending this afternoon, a governance expert, Isaac Mwanza, has raised concern about the redeployment of Chief Registrar of Societies, Tandiwe Mende, amid claims that the alleged leakage of the opposition PF list of office bearers is fake. President Hakainde Hichilema has directed the Ministry of Finance and National Planning to ensure that the second runway at the Kenneth Kaunda International Airport, KKIA, is constructed as soon as possible. Up next, business news.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
In business, former Ambassador to Australia, Frank Walia, has advised the government to recognize the need for periodic reviews of tax incentives and holidays granted to multinational corporations. Mr. Walia says if there are benefits, government should inform the nation instead of taking offense that the Zambia Conference of Catholic Bishops are questioning it on the benefits it is reaping from the mining companies. He has advised the government to engage with the bishops, highlighting specific areas of national benefit and addressing their concerns about mining companies. Meanwhile, Mr. Walia is of the view that government can address the cost of living, as the Catholic bishops are exhausting it to do so.
You can't blame them entirely for the economic situation in the country. You can't. It's not possible for a government to turn around the economy of a country in 3 years. It is possible for them to convince and inspire the public that they are moving the economy in the right direction. It's possible, but to change things in 3 years is not possible. It's not possible. That's why the PF were saying "Sera tubombeko," meaning you have to give us time. Sera tubombeko. That was the meaning of that.
In foreign news, Kenya's parliament has approved sending a contingent of police officers to help quell gang violence in Haiti, despite a court order barring the sending of the officers pending the hearing of a case. The MP's decision came on Thursday, just as the court was hearing a petition on the legality of the deployment. Elsewhere, South Africa has referred Israel's government to the International Criminal Court, ICC, over its action in the Gaza conflict, President Cyril Ramaphosa said on Wednesday. Here's a roundup from the BBC.
The former British Prime Minister David Cameron has held talks with President Zelensky in Kiev on his first official trip as Foreign Secretary. Mr. Cameron said he wanted Ukraine to be his first destination in his new role. Israel is continuing its search of the Al-Shifa hospital in Gaza City, which it says was a key command centre for Hamas. BBC correspondent Lucy Williamson was taken by the Israeli army into a small part of the hospital. The world's first gene therapy that aims to cure 2 blood disorders has been approved by medical regulators in Britain. The treatment for sickle cell disease and beta thalassemia is the first to be licensed using a gene editing tool known as CRISPR. The United Nations chief has urged all sides in the deepening conflict across large parts of Myanmar to protect non-combatants and allow aid deliveries. And Antonio Guterres has expressed serious concern about the conflict, which has forced 2 million people from their homes.
In sports news, the Chipolo Polo intensified preparations for the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifier against Congo-Brazzaville with an evening training session at the Levi Mwanawasa Stadium in Ndola on Wednesday. Coach Avram Grant and his technical staff ran the route through the lads under the Washoe floodlights with the atmosphere, a mix of no-nonsense grind and occasional lightheartedness. Zambia plays Congo-Brazzaville on Friday in a Group E FIFA World Cup qualifier that kicks off at 18 hours. And now the weather.
Class Econ Roofing Africa.
Class Econ Roofing, plot 17100 off Katanga Road, 150 meters from Mumbwa Road, Chinika Industrial Area, Lusaka. Class Econ Roofing. Class plus economy.
Class Econ. Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ.
Western Luapula, northern Muchinga, and eastern provinces are partly cloudy, slightly windy and warm to hot with thunder showers. Maximum temperatures will range between 24 degrees centigrade and 37 degrees centigrade. Northwestern, Copperbelt, Central, Lusaka, and southern provinces are partly cloudy, slightly windy and warm to hot with thunder showers. That weather forecast brings us to the end of the news. Before we go, we take a look at stories that made headline. Opposition Socialist Party Deputy Secretary General Antonio Mwanza has accused the UPND administration of abusing the police to detain and intimidate leaders from opposition parties. Zambia has been unanimously nominated as a central government representative for Southern Africa to the board of the Commonwealth Local Government Forum. And Kenya's parliament has approved sending a contingent of police officers to help quell gang violence in Haiti, despite a court order barring the sending of the officers pending the hearing of the case. That is all that we have for you in the main lunchtime bulletin. For these and more stories, you can follow us on Facebook, 5FM Radio Zambia. On behalf of the entire news crew and the technical department, thank you for listening to the happy world of 5FM Radio. Stay safe and stay tuned to 5FM Radio. My name is Grace Msimuko. Do have a pleasant afternoon.